Yo, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Kari here, back again with another video. So today I got a pretty cool topic for y'all. We're gonna discuss some Colombian etiquette, all right? So I saw this post on Facebook in one of the Medellin expat groups, and I figured let's talk about it, man, to see if I've experienced these things that they're talking about or not, and what I think about it. So basically, some guy posted on Facebook like these basic things of a basic list of Colombian etiquette, meaning like cultural things that you'll notice that Colombians do and whatnot. So I'm gonna put some of that up on the screen, but let's go ahead and talk through a couple of these items. So cover your mouth when yawning. I agree with that. I noticed that Colombians definitely cover their mouth when yawning, but that one I feel like is kind of universal because people do that in the States, people do that everywhere. It's rude to speak with your hands in your pockets or chew gum with your mouth open. So I haven't really experienced that. Maybe the rude to speak with hands in your pockets, but people talk to me with gum in their mouth all the time here in Colombia, so I'm not sure about that one. Next we got slouching and leaning against things is bad form, it says, okay? Interesting. Colombian slouch, just like American slouch, but I would say not as much. Probably because people are more fit here and they're not. I think slouching happens a lot more when it's people overweight and whatnot, which you can find more overweight people in the States, obviously. But yeah, I don't notice people kind of correcting their form if they're slouching or anything. But in general, Colombians are pretty upright when they're speaking, so kind of feel that one. Punctuality is not tight in Colombia. Expect people to follow a looser Colombian time for social and casual engagements. That one, 100%. 100%, guys. If you haven't heard yet, Colombia time is pretty much worse than black people's time. Colombians, not only will they be late to things a lot, but they won't give two fucks about wasting your time in that sense. I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest difference between like the States and Colombia is like people are late in the States sometimes, but they're usually like very apologetic when they show up, like, oh my god, I was in traffic, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. Like in Colombia, people will show up an hour late and be like, and act like you was late. Like straight up, they'll show up with no remorse, not worried about if they wasted your time, don't expect an apology or nothing like that. So for sure, I definitely feel that one. Okay, delays or lateness of up to an hour from the time stated can be normal. Okay, so I guess that one is an add-on to the previous one. All right. So yeah, up to an hour, sometimes more, especially if there's traffic. But yeah, avoid slamming a car or house's door unless it will not shut without force. For sure. I think a lot of you guys know this. I've seen this plastered on Facebook groups. I've seen this in a lot of YouTuber videos, but a lot of people mention that you should not slam the Colombian doors, and that is 100% true because they will say something. They will either gesture at you or kind of give you like a what the fuck type of look, and some of them might yell at you, if you really slam their door. And I know this can be hard for a lot of Americans to kind of adjust to. Because for one, the taxi doors and a lot of the car doors out here are very lightweight. Mind you, these people tend to drive cars here that are very cheap, very economic, meaning they're built in a way that is not for longevity or whatever, or luxury or whatever. So you see a lot of cars, right, that are cheap cars, and those cheap cars have doors that are light, like they're just straight aluminum. So it can easily, like, you could just like give it a little flick, right, and it could go flying and slam, right? So definitely that is one thing, big thing that Colombians will get pissed off about. So definitely a good one to be on this list about etiquette. Okay, the house door. Yeah, like living in these apartment buildings, you don't hear people slamming doors in an apartment. When sometimes the wind will shut the door really hard by accident. Like that's happened in my apartment several times, and it's happened to my neighbors, and I can hear it, and so it's alarming. Like, but I'm pretty much know it's not like them pissed off or anything. It's usually the wind that catches the door and gives it a lot of force. But let's see. Do not pass things to people by casually throwing them. I've never heard this, but you know, I don't see a lot of people tossing things. Like I know in the States, like I toss things to my mom or I toss things to my friend or whatever, and it's normal. But yeah, I don't really see that happen in Colombia. Maybe it's part of they take pride and they take a lot of care in their possessions here, like a little car door, for example. They don't want you slamming their car door. And I could see like a cell phone, I could see a Colombian person caring a lot more about you tossing a cell phone, because to them it's not easily replaceable. It's expensive, you know. They kind of have a different value set when it comes to money and valuables. In a sense, they just cherish them more because they're harder to come by here, and people just get paid less in general. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Men are expected to open doors for women. Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially if you're on a date, but also if it's like old people behind you, even if it's an old man. There's a lot of people with disabilities here that might be missing an arm, or might be on crutches, or just a lot of different things that you might see out here. And of course you should open the doors for those people, and really just anybody. Even if it's a young healthy man behind you, why not open the door and be nice, you know? So definitely, the list says for women, but I would argue you should do that especially for people with disabilities, and just in general for anybody. You should open doors. It's just a free thing that you can do that is kind of like throwing a little money into the Goodwill piggy bank, right? So when paying a bill, men always pay for women. Otherwise, the person who has invited the others out to dine pays for everyone. In circumstances under which no one was specifically invited, usually the highest ranking person pays for the others. Okay, this is gonna be a controversial one. So definitely in Colombia, you won't find women catching the bill very often, especially if you're on a date. Especially if you ask the girl out, don't even for a second expect the woman to dig in her pocket and pay. But I really think that's pretty much the case in everywhere. I don't know where you could ask a girl to go out and then expect her to pay. I mean, you name me a place where it's like that, and I might be on the plane there tonight. But yeah, no, I mean, in terms of, and then like if I invite a bunch of friends out, I don't know if I would be obliged to pay for everybody's food and everything. But if it's like a birthday party, right? If I'm having a birthday celebration at a restaurant, yeah, I would expect to pay for everybody. I'm not gonna invite you to my birthday party and ask you to come out of your pocket. But, you know, if it's like, hey man, let's meet up and have a few beers and I might catch the first round or catch a couple rounds, but I'm probably not gonna feel like paying for everything that you order. Especially, let's say you order a steak or whatever, and I just had beers. Like, just because I invited you, I gotta pay for you? I don't think so. But like I said, there's situations, if it's a celebration or something like that, and you're inviting people out, and it's, you know, that it's a restaurant and stuff like that, then yeah, you should probably pay. You should definitely pay. You can't expect people to come and celebrate something for you and have to pay. You know what I mean? So, and then yeah, I mean, if it's like a business dinner or something, for sure, the highest ranking person, if it's like a CEO or the director or whatever, is probably gonna pay. Like I had the experience in the marketing agency I was working with. The director, who was the only boots on the ground here in Colombia, whenever we would meet up and go out, he would definitely pay for everybody, without question. And even when I was in the States and stuff, when I go out for business meetings and stuff like that, definitely the highest ranking person pays. So that's consistent here. All right, so I'm gonna leave the list up on the screen. And you guys can chime in down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this list. Do you agree with this, or do you feel like the list is wrong, or do you feel like any of this is just incorrect and it shouldn't be that way? Let me know in the comments. Guys, hit me up on Instagram at Kari.hq. All right, and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.